Hello everyone, welcome to Art on the Creek. My name is Anne. We're in my home studio in Parker, Colorado, and we're going to try something entirely new and different today. I recently found this linocutter set and some pink erasers and some little rubber stamp materials, so let's get to it and see what we can come up with. So this first part of the video is kind of going to be what not to do. First of all, the watercolor paper is a good idea. 100% cotton. It helps when you're making some kind of a stamped print. And I do like hot press for this. This is really a good paper, as many of you know. And it's, to be honest, it is the first hot press paper I could find in my stack. That 100% cotton is important for printing. You can buy printing paper. Several companies make it. But it's really smooth, and the cotton's going to be a little bit absorbent, so the ink or paint that we use is really going to stick in there. Now, I've already done this one. This is a little rabbit that I did. I can put the link to the Unsplash photo that I used for my reference, and I've played with him a little bit on different paper. This is where it kind of goes south. I'm just going to give you a heads up. This is kind of what I discovered is not the best way to do this, is with acrylic paint, and it could be for several reasons, but I've already worked on this rabbit upstairs in my kitchen this morning. I was just kind of playing around, and I thought, you know what, this will be kind of fun. Let's go ahead and make a video. And I thought this will be great. We'll use these acrylic paints. So I thought, well, cobalt blue, that would be so nice. Put a little bit on a scratch sheet of watercolor paper that's a really student grade, low quality watercolor paper. I just kind of cut it up to use for things like this. So I'm getting my brayer covered with the paint, just trying to get it even on there. And I have a feeling this would have been better if I had used my gel plate print. I think that you need that, it has to be soft against soft when you're applying this paint here. I feel like if I had applied the paint to the gel plate and then put the stamp on the gel plate, then that would have given me a better transfer of media to the stamp, because you can kind of see on his eye there, it kind of got all filled in and all the little details are kind of getting filled in here. So I'm a little bit frustrated with this part of the process right now. And when we go to print him, you'll see didn't quite work out the way I wanted. So I'm not going to use my Arches paper for this one right here. I think what I am going to try and print this on is my B 100% cotton watercolor paper here on my journal. It's not straight. I'm just practicing to try and see if this is even going to work. You have to press really hard, and I found a better way to do that. We'll get to that at the end. But you can see the print comes out, but it's really not all that great. A lot of the detail is missing, and like I said, that's because I think I rolled the paint directly onto the rubber stamp, and you can kind of see its uneven qualities there. So let's get this cleaned up, and let's try again. I do have a gel plate, and it is buried under several things right now. I'm kind of reorganizing my studio again. But I got a little bit of pieces of it here that are kind of coming off, so I want to make sure that it's a nice clean print when I finally do get it done. I'm going to go ahead and use this stamp pad. This is one that I've got. Yeah, there's still ink in there. It's very sticky. This is archival ink. I'm just kind of sliding it across to make sure it's got some good ink in it, and it does. And now you can really see the detail of this carving. I wanted the background to kind of stand out like that. You can clean your stamp up even more, and we'll get to an actual carving here at the end of this. I just want to kind of show you my trial and error process first, and then channel members, you will have a full-length tutorial of the carving of the iris that we're doing. But those of you watching today, we're just going to do a little quick demo, and I will speed that portion up. So let's see here. We're going to get all of this covered with ink, and then I'm going to try and pick it up very carefully. I have ink all over my fingers. This is a mess. Just trying to get all the ink on here, and I think this time I'm going to be brave and use my Arches paper. Right away, I'm thinking there's got to be a better way to do this, and I do have a better way, I promise. I just want to show you. See, it's crooked. Not what I wanted to do, but oh well, let's push it down and let's see if we can get a good print. And when they say this ink is permanent, they're not kidding. There is nothing that will clean this up. I'll have to use some kind of a specific cleaner for stamps, I think, to really get it cleaned up. But my fingers got so messy. I got it on the edges of the print. Let's peel this up. And that is not bad. Okay, I can see where this is going and I can see where I would like this. But I already got some ink down there below him. But I'm happy with this. So I'm going to wait. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get any of that off of there, am I? Okay, I'm going to just wait and clean that up a little bit later after I'm done with this entire process. But I'm liking where this is going. I just want it to be a cleaner print. You can kind of see on the left there where it's a little bit lighter. You can see some squares where the ink wasn't pressed down evenly. I think I have a better solution. So right now I'm just kind of thinking I need more ink because I think that pad is a little bit dry. So let's try using this acrylic ink. Even though it's water soluble, it'll still work over the oil-based ink here that's already on there. So I'm just going to paint it on with a brush. Let's see if this even works. And wouldn't you know it, I'm discovering that my idea is probably not going to work. I don't think that this ink is sticky enough. It's on there though, but I can kind of see little areas where it's not really adhering. But let's try and turn this. You can see how difficult this is just holding it in your hands. And we'll just plop it right on there. Hopefully it won't move. And now let's give this another push. Alrighty, do I have this figured out yet? Is this one going to work? Let me make sure I get a nice good print. We'll push, push, push. We'll get it down there really good. And now let's try lifting it up. Oh, that's disappointing. Okay, so this ink was just too watery. It's going to leave those little dots and blobs that just aren't going to look good. Since it's acrylic based though, I can clean off this purple. So let me get this cleaned up and we will try yet again, because now I think I know the two crucial elements that we need. So in my head, what I need is something to hold that stamp for me so I don't have to get my fingers all wet. And I need to have some archival ink. It's got to be sticky. It's got to be that really sticky ink, and it has to be this good black dark ink. I mean, you can use any color at all, but the ink in the pad, that pad is squishy, and the foam of the ink pad is going to really be good to get the ink applied onto the rabbit. And then we're going to use that Misty Stamp Guide. That's what everything is setting on right there. So I will show you how we do that. These little Misty tools have an awful lot of use to them, but what we're going to use it here for today is mainly as a guide. Now it comes with this great magnet. It's a magnetic surface back there, so that works really, really well. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to close the Misty and use the grid on the top to lay the stamp on my paper and kind of get it lined up where I want it so that I can make sure to have it centered when I do stamp it. So what I'm doing is I'm lining that up, and I'm sorry the other tape, horizontal tape, is kind of off camera, but you'll see it here in just a second. So I'll open the Misty, and then now you can see this is where I want to put my stamp. I just want to line it up in that little L shape that I made with the washi tape on the other side. So I'm following that grid to make sure everything is straight, getting it really lined up. And now I just want to make sure that my paper is going to be okay. And in order to do that, I'm going to put this craft foam that comes with it. I'm going to put that back in there. Because when you have that soft texture, that mushy texture, like a little mattress, it really helps your stamps to come out more clearly. It just gives that they work better if they have that give rather than stamping against a real hard surface. So, you know, I'm not the queen of stamping. I don't really know if there's a better way to do it, but for this purpose, for what I'm doing here today, I'm showing you all of my mistakes and my successes so that you can skip the mistakes and get right to the successes from what I've learned with stamping. I really want to get into some printmaking, and this is, of course, the very entry-level way to do it. There are much easier ways to get ink on things. There are much easier ways to do this. There's jigs that you can buy or make to get your stamps to all line up. Lots of different ways to do things. This is just the way I'm doing it here with you today, because right now I'm really just having fun to see if this is really something I want to get into. So we're going to close that real quick, and now I'm going to push it down with my hands again to see what kind of a stamp I can get. Cross your fingers. Hey, the stamp stuck to the lid. That's so good. And I am pleased with this stamp. Now, keep in mind, my ink pad is not really juiced up really well. I really need to put more ink in here. But look at how well that printed. It's nice and even. I'm going to try and put more ink on this here, but I can tell you it moved and I ended up getting a little bit of an off print. But when you're using a silicone stamp on these Misties, they do stay in place, and that's what's really nice about this. I suppose that I could have done something to this to make it work, but yeah, cross your fingers. Let's see if I got it lined up, and I don't think I did, but we'll push down again and we'll see what we can come up with. Okay, the moment of truth. Oh, it's off just a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see that. I mean, for the most part, it does look better. There's more ink on it, but I did just move it just a little bit, and I want to try again because I really want this to work. So let's do this for real now. I think I need more pressure on it. So on these next stamps, I'm actually going to take the Misty away and stand on it on my carpeted floor. And that should probably be pretty good. And I'm really going to cross my fingers that this Misty can hold up because I'm not a small person. And I am barefoot, so that, I'm not putting a hard shoe on it or anything. I'm really going to cross my fingers and hope this works. Let's see what happens, you guys. Okay, the moment of truth. First of all, thank you, whoever makes the Misty, for making it so sturdy so that I didn't break it. Oh my gosh, I'm delighted. I really, really like this one, you guys. I think that what I need to do definitely is to go get some more ink, re-ink my ink pads, and really get that nice and juicy so that I can get some good solid prints. But the texture you're seeing in the rabbit is the texture on the paper. It's not from the stamp. It's not from an uneven stamp. So I am very, very pleased. I love how primitive these look. I'm really delighted. So what I think that we've learned here today is we need that soft, squishy base so that if you have one of these Misties, that foam would work. If you're going to use another kind of press, maybe get a sheet of craft foam to put your paper on. And something to line up your stamp pad so that, your rubber stamp that you've carved so that you don't get ink all over your fingers. And this Colorbox ink works really well. It's archival dye, acid-free, and the color name is Wicked Black. Black comes in all kinds of different shades. Let's try that Ranger ink pad and let's see what that one looks like, just for grins. I really love this ink pad. I like the other one too, but I like this one because of the big size. It's going to be a lot more convenient. I'm going to get a much more even inking, and I think I've still got enough ink in here to get a decent stamp. So what I'm going to do is leave the stamp where it is, turn this pad upside down, and kind of press it on there with my hands. I don't want to stand on that because it doesn't look comfortable. So let me press this down and make sure we get a good contact of ink on here. Okay. That's all inked, and I can see that it's shiny, so I know that some ink went down there. And it looks like there's portions of this pad that have more ink than others. So I'm going to try and move it around a little bit and see if I can get equal sheen everywhere on my little rabbit that I've carved. So just kind of zhuzhing with it a little bit, just making sure that I've got it inked up the best way possible. And then we'll give it a stamp and see how it comes out. Okay, paper in, Misty closed. Let's go stand on it and let's see what we can print. Now, I really should tell you that probably you shouldn't be standing on this Misty. It's probably not meant for that, but oh my gosh, look at that print. I love it, you guys. So the one on the right was with the Colorbox ink, and then this one I'm taking off of the Misty now is the Ranger ink. I love how these turn out, and I actually like the color of the Ranger ink a little bit better. And these inks come in all different iterations. You can get a dye-based ink. You can get a permanent ink like this. You can do this however you like. There are inks that are available for printing that are in little pots or tubes, and you can use a brayer to roll them out. But now we're going to do this part of the video a little bit sped up because what I'm going to do is carve an iris. Now, if you're a channel member, you'll get to see this in real time. This one is, again, another experiment, but we're going to get it done and we're going to learn a lot along the way. But let's get this sped up and we can start watching how the iris came about. So honestly, it couldn't be simpler. You just need a pencil, and there are even other ways to do this. You can draw your drawing on paper and then trace it onto here, because you have to remember that even though I'm drawing this the way the picture presents it, it's going to come out in reverse. So this is where you will see a lot of mental gymnastics. I'm drawing this, I'm adding some leaves in, thinking, okay, that would be good. Right away, I'm thinking I've got a little bit of regrets here dealing with how many lines I ended up putting on this. But this little set is kind of nice. It's very inexpensive, very inexpensive. So I would say that if you are going to just see if you like this. This is a good set to get. The blades are nice and sharp, so do be careful. And I'm just carving out with the narrowest little V shape. I don't know if there's a name for these. I think they've got numeric references on them, but I can't really read them. Sorry about that. And I'm just kind of going wherever you want the ink not to be. That's the part you carve out. So you can either do it in a positive way or a negative way. You can create a positive space or negative space with your carvings. I made the leaves striped, and honestly at the end I kind of think that that ended up making it a little bit complicated. But I got to tell you, for an ASMR thing, just for pleasant experience, carving this rubber is amazing. It's so soft, it's so lovely. Of course, keep your non-carving hand well out of the way because you don't want to slip. If you do slip and don't cut yourself, but if you do slip and go off the line a little bit, it's very easy because of the nature of these prints to make that part of the design. You can always just go in and turn that into some hash marks. So there really is a very easy way to deal with these. Now, what I'm going to do next is to carve out the background. I'm really enjoying how this is coming together. I'm wondering if I should have stopped right here, but let's go ahead and change the blades and then we'll get to carving. Now, for those of you who are channel members, I'm going to go over this a little bit more in detail on Monday's video. So if you are not yet a channel member and you'd like to see this in real time, check out the link below and you can discover all of the benefits that you would have as a channel member with Art on the Creek. There are many benefits to be had. One of them is to get an e-newsletter once a month. I also send out Happy Mail once a month. So depending on which membership tier is right for you, there's a lot of benefits that I think that you could really take advantage of and just learn a lot of new things with your art and have fun. I'm also in the process of looking for a community platform where we can really interact more with each other as artists. So I really hope that if you're interested in a membership, check that out and go ahead and sign up. It's month to month, so there's no real commitment, and the lowest entry I think is $2.99. So I really tried to make it affordable for everyone because I know that people's budgets are too busy spending money on eggs right now, right? You know, I went to Costco yesterday and they were completely out of eggs. There were no eggs at all. So yeah, this weird way that we are living right now might be a real thing. Anyway, back to the carving. I really was pleased with the way that this came out. And like I said, it's just really cool to pick up all those little rubber things and squeeze those a little because it's like little rubber spaghetti. It was just so fun. When I look at this, I can see that it's an iris. And when I put ink on it, I can see that it's an iris. But there are so many lines that when I printed it, I don't think I really did it justice. So if you knew it was an iris, I think you could tell it was an iris. But as far as a good block to print, I'm not sure this is it. So that's why this is so fun. They're all just practice. Let's try some of this Colorbox ink. I've got one that's purple. Not that that matters. I just wanted to see if there was another ink in there that I had that maybe had more juice to it. And this one seemed like it does. So I'm over there standing on this now, making sure I get a good print, crossing my fingers, and I like it. I really like how these came out. Let's take a look at all of them together, shall we? First, let's take a look at that iris stamp. Now, channel members, I can tell you right away that I've already figured out how to fix a complicated drawing like that so it doesn't look like such a jumble. So we'll address that on Monday. And then the bunny turned out really cute. I really like him. And you guys, these stamps are fun. I really hope that you get a chance to try them. I'll put affiliate links for everything down below. If you choose to shop from those links, it really does help my channel. If not, that's okay. You do whatever you want to do. I am just happy that you're here today. Everybody have such a great weekend. I hope you're really enjoying spring and maybe try something new with your art today. We'll see you next week. Take care, everybody. Bye now.